All right, we want to make sure that we're in local mode again. I noticed that I was getting some weird rotations, and it wasn't in local mode. So having that local turned on is a good thing. So we're gonna actually go back to the top eyelid and actually just still make a couple shape changes. Just light tapping, getting those eyelids moved back in. And for now, that's going to work. So we'll move back to the head. We can kind of see what our head's kind of looking like, taking shape here. So with that, I actually like to just make sure that my head is kind of, obviously it's not, this has the same kind of proportion, not the same proportions, but in the same general area. His eyeballs are kind of big, and we may make a little bit of adjustment there. Right now, I'm not going to worry so much about it. Just kind of scale that down and see how that's looking. So actually it's looking okay. It's not, we still might make adjustments. Still in early blocking stage currently. I'm also kind of noticing with his head, his neck seems a little wide. So I'm going to make just a little bit of change there as well. So with topological turned on, actually just kind of bring that shape down a little bit. And also kind of affect his neck a little bit more. And we will be merging all these shapes together and then kind of softening those edges and whatnot. Just merging those edges all together so they look clean. All right, so now we have a head, the hair on its own subtool. We have the top eyelid on its own subtool, and then the eyeballs on its own subtool. And so next we're going to build the upper rib region. And to do so, I'm just going to actually go to a new IMM brush. Actually, I'm probably will append a new shape onto here, and so I'll probably just use the regular polysphere on this. And so with that shape, which is going to be down here in our subtools, I'll grab that polysphere and move it up, and then also scale it down. I'll make sure our head's turned on so we can see it, and go back down to that polysphere and move him back into place here. So I'm actually going to just kind of move that down, scale, do some scaling, and then from here I'll go to my move brush. Turn off topological because we have that object is already, and I'm also, and if you hear my tapping, I'm just actually just making my brush a little bigger. And then so from here, I'm actually going to look for kind of a rib cage looking shape. So with that, this is just basically the top piece of his. If I'm looking here, this is kind of the shape I'm trying to actually build here. So kind of make that a little bit more skinny, and then also we want that still connected to that neck. And when we are back, we just want that kind of coming up, and also just get that shape kind of looking how we want it. we scale that down, you see the shape that we're going for here. That looks all right. All right, we're just getting back to building this body. And so I'm actually going to bring my spotlight projection and actually scale it up a little bit, just so I can kind of trying to keep the proportions. It's kind of in the same general area. And that way I can kind of keep track of the proportions a little better. And so actually just kind of place him like so. So I try to imagine that we can see some lines around here, just so we can see how that looks. So if we were to turn on the floor, you can kind of use those as the marking lines as well of where things are in relation. So basically, there are some things that are a little off in my drawing, but just early on with the blocking stage. So I'm just going to add another sphere to his torso and just put that on the bottom here. And so with that in mind, I will probably move this, and I'm just going to place this down like so. Kind of scale it down too. It looks a little big, and then I will just kind of place it over here just so I can see kind of how. Yeah, that looks about right. So with him standing, kind of push that. It's looking kind of how I want it. I'll probably make adjustments as well. Still early blockouts. So we'll grab another sphere. And place it right in here. And also, let's go back to the move. We will probably just use the move brush on this one and just kind of just lightly tapping, kind of build out that shape, the middle part of his. It looks a little bit wider in the midsection. And just make sure that you check all angles. All these pieces are going to be merged together eventually. So we'll actually just kind of using the shift just to kind of soften some areas as well. And actually I'd try to put a little curve to his back. Usually there's a nice curve to people's backs. So kind of move this. And also once we put a t-shirt on this body too, we'll be able to make some more adjustments. For now, this is gonna probably work just to get that shape, soften that just a little bit with the shift. And now I'm just using the move brush. And I also keep correcting my view by holding shift as well. Actually, for the bottom of the torso, I'm probably going to, so if you hold down Control-Alt, actually just select that. Actually, there we go. Actually, I'm going to turn the floor off and just going to squish that. Actually, put a little bit more of a torso shape to this, or more a pelvis shape. Just so once we put his legs in there, just bringing that up just a little bit. Also pushing that out a little bit, so we get more of a waistline right there. All right, so from this point, actually going to add some legs to